let's begin with the video.
When a data center is coming to your community, it's too good to be true.
In 20 years, we may look back and go like, I'm not sure we should have done that. But right now, it feels right.
All over the country, states and local governments have been rolling out the red carpet for data centers.
America's newest boom towns aren't mines, they're data centers.
Nothing less than a digital gold rush.
Driving that is AI.
They're offering huge tax breaks and other financial incentives to developers and tech companies. And what do communities get in exchange?
Google's $40 billion announcement.
Tech titans pouring billions of dollars.
$27 billion.
$600 billion.
Skilled tradespeople are needed to build these high-tech centers.
Dozens of jobs.
Everyone's jobs will change.
Hundreds of jobs.
High-paying jobs.
Over 100,000 American jobs almost immediately.
But is that actually true?
They take great care of us. They pay travel. They give us per diem.
The cluster of data centers in your community may not provide you any benefit whatsoever.
And I traveled from my home state of Oregon, which has seen mass layoffs and disappearing tax revenue.
Breaking news, Intel announced that it would be laying off more than 500 people.
That number has since jumped to nearly 2,400 people.
Today, we're going to ask, are the economic trade-offs powering the data center boom actually worth it for the rest of us?
The short answer is no. It's not worth it at all.
The answer is a lot more nuanced than I expected.
It's not nuanced at all. Everything about this is disgusting.
I moved to Oregon 9 months ago for the peace and quiet. It's a rural state, and agriculture has a $42 billion economic footprint here, supporting more than 500,000 jobs. But farmers I spoke to tell me they're under threat.
I'm in Hillsboro, Oregon, and right behind me is an 1800s farmhouse. And 5 years ago, we were surrounded by hundreds of acres of farmland. Today, it's data centers everywhere you look.
These are all data centers. They call this the data center alley of Hillsboro.
There was a tulip farm here. There was a big grass seed operation, an ecosystem of farming that this land supports.
Aaron Nichols is a farmer in Hillsboro, Oregon, 20 miles from where I live in Portland. He was the first stop in my investigation because before digging into the jobs at data centers, I wanted to know what happens to other industries when big tech moves in.
How many people do you employ here on the farm?
We employ about 10 people on our farm on about 15 acres. We could expand and grow more food for more people, but buying land is nearly impossible because people are hoping to hold on to it and sell it for a windfall profit.
That's another issue in America. We have so many people holding onto their land because it's going to become more valuable later on, and they would rather profitize it than sell it, which makes sense, of course, but in the grand scheme of things, it's making it impossible for other industries to improve, simply because these data centers are putting in their own... I'll just let you watch. I'm so annoyed.
And it's not just his business.
People that need an automotive shop or that are going to open an electrical firm or a small computer firm, they look at that land price and they're completely out of the market.
Not only are they driving away other businesses, data centers are driving up costs too. Pacific Power and Portland General Electric customers saw a 50% increase in their electricity bills since 2020. Analysts say that data center growth is a major factor. And what's worse, data centers aren't contributing as much money to the community as you might think. That's because Oregon's laws give data centers some $330 million a year in tax breaks.
There are a number of incentive systems to come to Oregon. The enterprise zone is a 5-year no property tax waiver for building industrial or building jobs. Out of that comes schools, parks, fire, police, municipal. We've lost that revenue for 5 years.
Local residents are already seeing the impacts from this lost tax revenue. A report from Good Jobs First found Oregon schools lost $275 million to property tax abatements.
That's more than double. Way more than double. Because of tax breaks and tax abatements, we have data centers that are extracting resources from these states. It's parasitic. All of that money could have gone to schools, could have gone to infrastructure, could have gone to libraries, fixing the roads, other construction projects. Instead, that money isn't even being taken. It's just more profits for the big tech companies to what? Build more data centers and further snowball this? And then we've got We've got data centers paying $19 an hour for just a few employees. The amount of profit that they have compared to their costs seems very, very low. And they'll get into that later.
Could have gone to hire 3,600 teachers.
If they would have paid their annual taxes, their property taxes would have been $7.22 million.
So they're getting about $6.5 million
$6.5 million
off
a year.
their taxes.
That's right, that they're not paying.
Without tax revenue from data centers, the people who live in Hillsborough are going to end up suffering because they're not going to have the high quality schools that they deserve. And a lot of that cash is just going to flow straight through the city like a sieve.
We're all paying our taxes for the schools. The data centers are not. It feels like that money is being kind of extracted from our community. We pay the infrastructure costs. We don't see tax revenue, and we see the profits being funneled out to people we'll never meet.
Do you want a pen or you use a pencil?
It's interesting to me because the common man has to pay so much in taxes now, but then we've got data centers that are just getting full-on tax breaks. That's so much profit that's going to these companies instead of the common person. Yet the common person has to sustain everybody else. Why is everything being put on the backs of the common person? It's so backwards.
For the Nichols family, it's personal.
Here we go.
How is the shortfall for the school district here, how is that impacting your family?
My son's autistic. It makes it so that he cannot get an aide full-time, and it definitely makes it harder on us. We love our teachers, they're amazing, but we do see them doing more with less, and sometimes, unfortunately, less with less.
We actually even lost a 5th and a 4th grade teacher. So now the 3rd and 4th grades have to be split, so the 5th and 6th grades have to be split.
The city of Hillsborough has been making a lot of economic development decisions. At their meetings, the public really hasn't been consulted about what kind of economic development they want and what they want to see from that.
I reached out to the economic development director at Hillsborough, Dan Diaz, but his office said he was, quote, not available for this discussion.
Yeah, I wonder why. I fucking wonder why. They'll talk to your face and tell you that you're family, and then they'll do shit like this. Disingenuous things like this. This is what pisses me off about politicians and corporations. They're in league with each other. They're in league with each other. I'm sick of pretending that I don't see it. I'm sick of all of this disingenuous stuff that they try to sweep under the rug. It's so repulsive. I get I get emotional and physical reactions to it simply because I don't like disingenuous stuff like this. I'm very sensitive to it. So when I see somebody just sending an email saying that they're not available for this discussion, it just, I mean, it's insane to me. Especially when it's for a video, an interview for a video.
Okay, so data centers have both driven down jobs from other industries and depleted key tax revenue. So what have they brought to Hillsborough? What was the trade-off? Driving around the area, it's clear that the construction of these massive data centers has created a demand for temporary construction jobs in Oregon. Electrician Ashley Cummings wanted to get in on that gold rush.
What an unfortunate name. It's kind of like Dick Grayson. And not only that, Gold Rush is right. I remember learning about the Gold Rush in school, and this is exactly what it is. It's world leaders and big tech companies trying to follow the gold rush of AI because it's the brand new technology that seems to have so much capability and possibility, and they're trying to improve it as much as possible. And they're racing against other countries in order to get that done. But the problem is that we're going so fast that we're not even understanding the ramifications of what we're doing in the current moment. And even if this gold rush doesn't turn out to be very well, who pays for it? Again, the common person.
I was studying to be a CNA and randomly decided I'm gonna go be an electrician because those data centers look busy. It was a really good idea. I make a lot of money, it was great, but I don't know if it's gonna last very long. I think after we get them up, they don't need us anymore.
Ashley.
No, they don't. They'd rather temporarily buy up everything as much as possible as an investment and then cut all costs and focus on profits. It's rapid expansion. And it's only because they can do it. They have the resources to do that.
Says her husband works on data centers too, but not in Oregon. He's nearly 2,000 miles away in Abilene, Texas.
My husband decided to go work in Abilene, one of the biggest data centers built in the country. Big as all of the data centers here in Hillsborough combined into one.
To find out more about what these jobs are really like, I decided to head to Abilene myself.
This is OpenAI's massive Stargate AI data center in Abilene, Texas, a $500 billion project with Oracle and NVIDIA. The companies say they're creating some 6,000 temporary construction jobs and some 1,700 long-term jobs. And the state
6,000 short-term jobs, 1,700 long-term jobs. 1,700. All right, let's do a little bit of some quick math here, okay?
Hasta la vista, baby. Hasta la vista, baby.
Now, I want to preface something. By the way, if you guys want to let me know about any other costs or give me some more information or maybe clarify some things, I'm not a professional, I'm not an entrepreneur, I'm not a politician, I'm not a corporate owner or whatever it may be, like whatever you want to say, okay? If I'm getting anything wrong, just let me know in the comments and provide some valuable discussion. Don't just say you're wrong. It's not adding anything. It's really not. So if anything is being misunderstood with how I'm making my calculations or how I'm explaining myself, again, please let me know. I'm happy and willing to learn. I'm 25. I've lived my life in a very introspective way, and that did not leave space for actually learning this kind of stuff. So with that out of the way, let's finally do some math, okay? We're paying each of these people $19 an hour, and they work those 12-hour days about 5 days a week. So we're looking at $1,938,000 being spent. So they're spending $93,024,000 yearly. And in tax breaks, we're seeing $275 million. School funding lost to property tax abatements. So this is just property taxes. Who knows what other grants or tax breaks that the government is giving to these big tech corporations. Now we have a number to go off of. So $93,024,000 yearly. And yearly, they are saving up about 6 or 7 million. So that leaves $86,024,000. I don't know what other costs that they would have, but to me, this is collectively for like, what, one data center? Let me see.
This is OpenAI's massive Stargate AI data center in The companies say they're creating some 6,000 temporary construction jobs and some 1,700 long-term jobs. And the state of Texas has given more than $1 billion in tax breaks to welcome data centers.
So Texas gave $1 billion in tax breaks. So let's go back to our calculator, shall we? There we go, $93,024,000. Let's subtract $1 billion. They still have $906,976,000. Do you understand how much rage this fills me with? I'm already not in a good mood. I'm already in a very bad mood, and I'm seeing this number, and those are the taxes that gets left over when we take out payroll. What are they doing with all that money? Why do they need so many tax breaks? Because if they're not providing taxes, then where is this money going? I get technology is expensive, but this is taxes. This could have gone to plenty of different fields, and we're just handing them out to big tech companies for free? Why?
Google announced it's investing $40 billion towards 3 new data centers in Texas.
Oh, okay, so the fake money that they save up is now being pledged to other people. Like, this money doesn't even exist either. Go to your bank, withdraw $40 billion. Are they going to have it? No, all of this money is digital. This is just IOUs.
It's investing $40 billion towards 3 new data centers in Texas. This is what Google CEO Sundar Pichai had to say.
We are excited that our data center and energy investments are going to create jobs. Google currently employs thousands of Texans, and we support countless more jobs across the state through our work with local businesses. Second, our continued investment in the state over many years will support thousands of construction jobs.
Texas will be the centerpiece for AI data centers for Google in the entire world.
So this is how democracy dies, in a room full of applause, huh? We've got people supporting this crap. Disgusting. There are benefits to AI, but I feel like putting all of our eggs into one basket and also rushing for the gold rush is massively detrimental to not only the common person, but also unaware of the ramifications that AI will have on humanity. This is beyond grotesque.
Will be the centerpiece for AI data centers for Google in the entire world.
I came across some construction workers with a California license plate. Just like Ashley's husband, these workers weren't locals.
And they're from all over, from California, Texas, Florida, Oklahoma, North Dakota, West Virginia, all over the United States. We have a lot of stuff energized right now, and pretty soon we're gonna turn on a quarter of the substation, which is gonna be 345,000 volts.
What made you want to travel this far?
The money.
145,000 volts. Let me know in the comment section what that really means. My brain doesn't have the measurements of volts, so I don't know how much that actually is, but that seems like a lot of energy going towards a data center.
23-year-old Ty Fields is from Sacramento. He's working as an electrician on the substation that will power Stargate, earning $3,200 a week.
$3,200 a week for a 23-year-old. Let's do more math. Again, if I get anything wrong, just tell me in the video, guys, and explain it to me. I really am willing to learn, but, you know, information has to be sought after earnestly. There's so much fake information out there, largely due to all of the AI outpacing humanity on the internet. So let's see, 32,000 a week, right? So that's 32,000 divided by what, 7? You know, do we do that math like that? No, that's not how we do it. 7 days a week divided by 24 hours. That's 9. Okay, yeah, I was correct. That is how you do that. Okay. God, I hate math. But I'm starting to do math now more than ever because I haven't had to do it for years. $19 an hour. Interesting.
That's pretty great money.
They're not even getting paid like $20 an hour.
23-year-old, you know.
Can't beat that.
Can't beat that. These are different jobs I've worked on and different companies I've been with. One from Skanska, one from Desk Corp, Phoenix 12, Phoenix 13.
He's sharing an Airbnb for $1,400 a week with a few roommates.
Sit on the bed, make yourself look comfortable.
Including 22-year-old Damian Alvarado from San Antonio.
You see yourselves in this for a long time?
Yeah, I think that electrical and substations especially are very important. I mean, they're going to be around forever, you know, until humanity destroys itself.
It is a bit dystopian.
Very dystopian, yeah. It is on par, 100%. 1984, Fahrenheit 451, Brave New World.
I remember reading Fahrenheit 451 in high school. Like, if any of you actively read, a lot of the stuff now today really is like the books of before. It was supposed to be some sort of fantasy, some sort of dystopian fantasy. Now it's not like that anymore. We're trending towards this terrible world, this terrible new world. Fahrenheit 451 in 1984. I still have to read 1984, but I did read Fahrenheit 451.
Those are all literary pieces that are pretty much line for line what's going on in America today.
Thousands of temporary workers like Ty and Damien are good news for the real estate industry in Abilene. Short-term housing revenue is up 40% this year, and hotels up 91%.
So I already watched this video and I wanted to explain the whole video to you, like right at the beginning, but I wanted to let the video play because you need to, you know, at least watch the video, and I wanted to let him do all of the talking instead of me, right? But this short-term housing revenue and the hotel revenue is not a good sign because it's trending, it's making people value short-term housing rather than long-term housing. So long-term housing is going to be more scarce, which is going to drive up prices. Short-term housing is going to be cheaper, but you're not going to own anything. So what happens when they just control your rent all the time? What happens when they raise your rent simply because you said the wrong thing? I mean, that's probably going to be way too dystopian and far off in the future until we're easily and slowly coerced into accepting that. But this is not good at all.
compared to the same quarter last year.
Sometimes it's $150 a night, sometimes it's $250.
The housing crunch has been great for Airbnb owners like Ken Hogan, who also heads up Abilene's Real Estate Association.
We really haven't had any trouble keeping it occupied, so we think it's priced fairly.
Apartments are almost 100% occupied, with rents increasing 20% in the last year.
They pay and they expect to pay a premium for the properties. As soon as we put them out, we have multiple inquiries and applications on them. So it's been good for us.
Just the fact of having that many workers out there, 6,000, 7,000 people, they're gonna buy clothing here, fuel, food. They're gonna eat in our restaurants, stay in our properties and hotels.
But there's another side.
I've had days where I've literally cried about it when I can't get a place.
Thousands of residents like Honesty, who works as a home health aide in Abilene, can't find a place to live. She is one of 1,000 people in Abilene who have received a housing voucher from the city's housing authority, but can't find a landlord willing to take it, with data center workers driving up the rent.
I get it, they're here to build on Abilene, but as far as like personal care aid people, we're also needed because we're the people that make sure that your next door neighbor, they get their mail or their trash gets taken out, or like they get to their doctor's appointments, like things like that.
So if you can't find a place to live, can you stay working here?
No.
Texas is a natural place to study. They have 200.
Yeah. So they're creating 17,000, I keep saying 17,000. It's even worse than that. They're creating 1,700 jobs for each data center. In the grand scheme of things, that's very, very little, if I'm going to be honest. And not only that, but they're taking up so many resources as well. This is parasitic. These are parasites. These data centers are parasites into the population of the common person. They're driving up costs. They're not paying taxes. They're not providing people. And not only that, but they're affecting other markets as well, like the housing market. They're making it more lucrative to invest in short-term housing than long-term housing. And not only that, this is also going to drive people to be more data center oriented because those are the people that are going to be living there, the people working at the data centers. So yeah, it's going to make other markets shrink because of this.
54 counties.
Economics researcher Michael Hicks decided to study the rise of data centers in Texas to understand what communities are actually getting in return for massive tax abatements. He published his report on Substack. So what did he find?
They're not creating jobs, they're not adding income, they're not providing tax revenue to Texans to build schools, to maintain their road network, or to improve their electric infrastructure, which is a problem in the state.
And this is also not you guys, okay? This is also some people can ask questions to AI about their mental health. This is what that's for.
He also found something that really disputes the whole idea that data centers are creating new jobs.
Transitioning people from a non-data center related information services into data centers. The men and women you see working at a data center site, many of them would have been on a residential or apartment building construction site.
When it comes to tax breaks and financial incentives, Hicks found a lot of similarities in Texas to what I observed in Oregon.
Do I have enough safe school buses to get my kids to school? Do I have enough police officers patrolling downtown? Do I have good water and sewer protection? These are things that Texans have to be concerned with, as residents around the country do. It doesn't really pass the common sense test, much less the benefit cost test for most local communities.
I bet all of the big tech people are nice and comfortable in their houses with proper roads and beautiful sewers and really nice gated and safe communities. Are we for real? Are we genuinely for real? Kids are being brain rotted by AI. There's a literary crisis in schools nowadays. I mean, there's an education crisis in general right now simply because of AI, and nobody cares.
Hey, Commissioner. How you doing? How are you? Thanks for having us. You bet. Come on in. Thank you.
I took Michael Hicks's findings to Taylor County Commissioner Randy Williams, who was one of the government leaders who agreed to approve a tax abatement for the data center companies.
Okay, as much shit as I want to talk about this guy, I have to at least give it to him because he at least was able to talk to you to your face in an interview. The Oregon person, you know, that email that we saw earlier in the video, won't even say anything. Says they're not present for that discussion. How come this guy was? Gross.
Allowing Lancium, Oracle, OpenAI, and others to forego paying taxes on 80% of their property value for the next 10 years.
10 years of 80% tax breaks from the property tax.
State and local governments should suspend existing tax incentives and defer any future incentive decisions until more analysis has been completed. Do you agree with that assessment?
No, I don't agree with that at all.
Oh, of course you don't. Of course you don't agree with it. Why would you agree to it? It's more incentivized for you to agree with it than to not agree with it.
It's, I mean, we're anticipating when that thing is done and all the buildings are open, between 400 and 1,200 additional jobs.
A lot of the job creation is just job transfer from other industries temporarily. They're leaving jobs to take these jobs. They're not new jobs. Yeah. So why don't communities slow down, take a pause, and assess this?
You can slow down if you want to, and then it's not going to happen in your community because these companies are moving. They're going to be down the road someplace else, and your community is going to get passed over.
It's short-term interest. Putting so much stake into such a short-term thing that hurts the common person. Sacrifices of the many to fatten up the few. This is the country I'm living in.
The public should be very concerned when companies like Meta, Google, Amazon make these promises around the types of jobs that they're bringing into the community.
Finally, I talked to a worker who actually knew these data centers from the inside.
I thought that by applying to work at the Google data center, this was my ticket.
Shannon Waite worked at a Google data center in South Carolina until 2021.
I was contracted through Adecco, which is a large contracting agency working on Google servers, Google computers in the data center.
Shannon had high hopes it would turn into a full-time gig.
Anytime a new building was about to be built or go up, we would be so excited because we thought that meant that Google was going to open up a headcount for more full-time employees.
When Shannon brought up money and asked coworkers about their bonuses, a superior told her she was not allowed to discuss pay, and security walked her out of the building.
Security walking her out of the building just because she wanted to discuss pay? This is illegal. And what's going to happen to Google? A fine if the complaint goes through? Nothing happens.
She filed unfair labor practice charges. Shannon now works as a community organizer. It's clear that there are no clear-cut answers when it comes to the real trade-offs of AI.
The real trade-offs? No clear-cut answers? This is the part of the video that I don't like. Why is it so ambiguous? I'm starting to think this guy just wants to be fence-sitting. He's saying everything that is actually completely terrible for the common person and saying, but I don't know though, it's not clear. Yeah, it's pretty fucking clear, brother. It's pretty fucking clear. And I don't know why you're being so afraid to even say it.
It is true that some workers are seeing benefits with high pay, but even those workers, like Ty and Damien, understand that the bigger picture is a lot darker.
It's all short term. It's all for short term. Only a few people are going to be able to actually make it out of this.
Seeing data centers sometimes makes me furious. It often makes me sad. It feels like we made a mistake as a society.
Your pain.
I think about the
I feel your pain. I feel your pain.
People who used to farm there, but mostly I think about my kids. Not only what are they going to do for jobs, because I have no illusions that my kids will be farmers, but where will they find their food?
We're going to keep tracking this, so if you're a data center worker with a story, please send us a tip at stories@perfectunion.us. Before you go, please support our work by liking this video and subscribing to our channel. We're always looking.
It's not illegal to discuss your pay at work. Why do I know this? Because I've had to deal with this before. One time I discussed my pay with my boss right in front of him while I was working in the kitchen. He yelled at me and berated me right in front of other coworkers. And then he proceeded to point them out as if it mattered. Brother, you are in a leadership position and you are yelling at me and exploding at me that I was talking about my pay when I wasn't even paid my check. I worked those hours. I deserve that money. Like, I deserve to have my pay, especially when it's delayed. I have every right to talk about it, especially when I come up to somebody politely. And this is what I don't like about companies. They want to keep you hush-hush and to be subservient and to coerce you into always taking the lesser of the two evils, or to always accept less and less and less. This goes beyond just work as well. This has happened within our political landscape. Always choosing the lesser of two evils, but we're still doing a downward spiral, trending towards worse outcomes. When is it going to be enough? When is there actually going to be a change?
Looking to tell more stories like this one, unpacking economic systems that impact all of our daily lives. Are there issues you want to see us cover? Sound off in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe.
This is a good video, but I don't like how he tried to take a very neutral stance with it. And let me make a few other things clear, guys. I'm already angry. I'm already in a bad mood. So doing this video, I'm probably being a lot more harsh and a lot less careful with my words than usual. But I'm sick of not being authentic. I can't express how I hate inauthenticity and not be authentic myself. So, you know, I still have to get these videos out there. I still have to record and I still have to do things, and I can't wait for me to be in a good mood to do them, okay? I have things that I want to do in my life because stuff like this is pushing me to do it. Because if I don't move now, the future is going to be dark for me too. And I suggest anybody who's not doing the same to start doing the same. Data centers are parasitic and they're going to ruin our country.